In this video we are going to be analysing DWAC. Now to get straight into it, first I do want to note midterms are released tomorrow. Now this will probably have effect on DWAC and maybe one of the reasons we're actually moving today, because obviously if we do see the Republicans more on the winning side, that could be a good sign for obviously Trump related things. I mean, we'll see how that plays out, but definitely be paying attention to the midterms tomorrow and how do they come out and how does that affect DWAC. But anyway, onto the technical levels of what are we paying attention to. And one thing I do want to note is basically where we hit now, $27.20. Now this is a first deviation on the 6-month chart, as we can see there. And we kind of tap this level intraday, faded straight back down, and it looks like we're retesting it again, but again we need to see if we can hold it. Now if you're looking for the intraday trades, yes, you can be looking on probably the 15-minute, that would be sufficient, but really if you want to see if this level can hold more for the bigger moves, you do want to be seeing this on probably at least the minimum of the 4-hour. And what do we mean by kind of hold it? We mean a break above it, get a close above, come back to retest it, and then see that bounce and see kind of buying pressure come in. This would be a good indication that that support level can now hold, and we would in time expect a move to $37 and around 75 cents. So again, that can definitely provide some good upside. I mean, that is around a 37% move, but again, do be cautious again coming into tomorrow. If we see it maybe close above here today, coming into tomorrow we get that pullback down to 27. Again, be a bit cautious. We do have the midterms, and again, it will probably play an effect on this stock. Now though, if we break, or if we come to $37, we break that, our next resistance we're looking at is $47.50. Going further will be $59.68, and our final two levels are $81 and $102. Now, quickly to go then over the supports, what are you paying attention to? So we do now have a support created today. This is going to be that gap fill location, and this is going to be at around $17.50. So do be paying attention to this. We obviously know most gaps do get filled. I mean, even going back here, you can see kind of as soon as they fill, you tend to get that bounce, so do be looking out for that. It's just an observation. Every time these gaps tend to fill, you tend to get that relief bounce, or if not a reversal as well. So definitely be looking out for that. If we can push slowly, again, you want these moves to happen back more slowly, because then you tend to get a more reliable bounce. You can see here, slow bounce back, or slow move back to that gap fill, you get that bounce. Sometimes if you see a harsh move to these, it just flies straight through. So again, be cautious, start observing how these stocks react, because some you might see fill the gap, move, or kind of go straight through, and others you get a bounce. So always good to be noting. But if we break that, we continue down one another supports. So we do actually have statistical mean at around $16. Now this is very near to that 52-week low. It is also part of this period of consolidation. So wouldn't be unlikely to come back here and maybe start seeing this become a strong support again. But if we can start breaking it, and really if we break that 52-week low, there is really no support holding it, so we could crash kind of straight back down. And if we do, kind of $7 is going to be that key support we're looking at, because that is our statistical mean on the 6-month. Now we don't actually have any other statistical levels going lower. We can see obviously they all go negative, and obviously you can't trade a stock into the negative. And the difference between $16 and $7 is quite far. So what else can we be looking at? So there's two ways you can go about this. It's either just looking at the psychological level, and or when you just start seeing big volume or big levels pushing into the level 2. And so you're probably going to see this at $12.50, $10, $7.50, $7, and so on. But another thing you can do, and unless we're getting there in kind of in the next few days, this isn't going to be as helpful, but it's by going into the shorter term time frame and seeing where are support levels on both the 20 and 30-day chart. So we can see now we're provided with some supports going lower. We have some at 24, 23, or kind of 22.50, 21, 21.50, and so on. But again, if we got going below the $16, we then have support at around $14.50, $13. And you can just see, again, you probably want to be going on this yourself if you can, or where you judge support, because again, the difference between $16 and $7 is quite large, and unless you can be patient enough and you're happy not to trade it within those areas, you're going to want to find supports on just different time frames, because if there is no levels to trade, there's only one thing to do, and that is kind of go on the short-term time frame. But that also does mean we're not looking to hold the move as long, because if we're trading short time frames, the probability of them working out is not going to be as strong, but also the moves we're looking at is going to be smaller. So if you're looking to play these support levels, for example the 14.75, again you're going to have a target of around $16, so you can still get around a point and a half on it. Still provides about a 9% move, obviously not like the 30% move we see on the longer term time frames, but there's definitely still opportunity there. So do be paying attention to that. Again, we will quickly clear all the levels we already created just to give you the key supports that we're paying attention to, and that will kind of be about 14.50 and kind of 13.25 as those key supports. We will also be looking, and if you are long, these are probably, we would kind of be locking in profits now because we are quite overbought. But we would be looking at how it reacts coming down to here. If we start breaking back below the $24, this move on this momentum is most likely going to slow, and we would expect to start seeing reversal kind of back to fill this gap. Anyway, that is the breakdown on DWAC. If you did enjoy the video, why not drop a like and subscribe and check out one of these two analysis videos.